a lot of people have the desire to work with big influencers and celebrities in order to grow their business or just have a connection with the people that they follow. And I was given the opportunity when I first started my online business of helping people grow their YouTube channel. I was given the opportunity to help somebody that I had been following for about 3 years grow their YouTube channel. And today I wanted to talk through how I was able to kind of create that opportunity and what needed to happen in order for that connection and ultimately for me to land that person as a client. Now, as you can imagine, when you're following people online, uh, a lot of people who have bigger audiences generally have a team. They're working with assistants or video editors or a lot of different resources in order to put the content that they're putting out into the world together. And as a function of that, those are the types of people that ultimately could potentially be great clients if you're a service-based business. Now, at the time, I was just starting out. I had a couple of clients that I was working with where I was helping them with social media management, building funnels, and kind of helping people with online marketing. And this particular opportunity, I simply stumbled upon it. I had been following a gentleman for 3 years. He's a New York Times bestseller. I really loved his stuff, but I noticed that I started getting recommended some of his YouTube videos on YouTube. And when I was looking at his content, it was great content. The problem is like nobody was watching. He had 57 subscribers. He had been putting out content for 3 or 4 months, and I really was scratching my head. Like, I would imagine this person's got a team. He's got a business that's doing millions of dollars. Like, what gives? And thankfully, because I had taken the time and had participated in this guy's world, I was actually in connection with a couple of folks who was working directly with him. So even though I didn't know him directly, I had a couple people in my network that I was able to reach out. And basically, the email went like this. It's basically was like, hey, I stumbled upon this channel. See that they're putting out content. I just wanted to confirm, like, is this them? And if so, I would love to have a conversation just trying to understand what they're trying to do with that channel and how I might be able to help. And that got an email back just asking for more details of like what do I do with people. And obviously, having grown a YouTube channel from basically nothing to a couple thousand subscribers in the gaming niche, obviously it wasn't directly comparable, but I knew YouTube well enough that there are particular strategies that need to be used, especially in the early stages of running a YouTube channel, that you really have to get down in order to scale things and get things moving in the right direction. So for instance, like this particular author, when you searched his name on YouTube, his channel wouldn't show up for 5 or 6 pages in YouTube, which means that YouTube doesn't really have any association between this channel and this person's name. So that was the very first thing that we needed to fix was, how do I get his channel ranking for his name? If I can do that, then when people start searching, they'll actually find his stuff, get into his ecosystem, and get into his world. So that, like I said, that email led to a phone conversation with him. And ironically, the way that the conversation went was, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to have this conversation. I have my marketing team on the other line. Let's connect in and have this conversation. So didn't know what I was getting myself into. Got onto the call, and basically they asked me to introduce myself and kind of talk through some of the things that I was seeing and what changes I thought needed to happen. Now, at the time, I was working full time at GE, and I was on my lunch break and sitting out in my car, very low self-service. And basically, I start talking, and 2 or 3 minutes in, they're like, hey, we're having trouble hearing you. Could you do me a favor? Send me an email with the details. So I'm sitting here like, okay, cool. So I'm going to send them this email with all the things that I would change. They're going to go make the changes, and then you're done. So thankfully that didn't happen. I sent the email. I just put together a couple of slides of like, here are the things that I would change immediately. And that led to basically a conversation like, hey, We don't necessarily have funding for your services right now. Would you be open to working on this channel for a month or so and us just seeing if we can get some results with you? So that then led to the opportunity to work on this person's channel. And basically, from 57 subscribers, we got him over 100 in that first month. So making progress, given that it had taken them 4 months to get to their first 57 subscribers. The fact that I was able to take them to 100 in just a month was markedly better than where the trajectory that they were on. So that then opened up an interesting opportunity where the company that I was working through, they asked if I would be willing to work on other folks' channels. So they gave me a handful of other channels. So I was able to now start to charge for the services that I was doing. Now, mind you, I was charging, I think, somewhere in the ballpark of like $250 per client. So I think my total billable for that first month, I think if I remember right, was like around either $500 or $750. I can't remember which. But it then started the process of like, oh, I can charge for this activity. Now, mind you, what I was doing didn't take me a lot of time. I was able to do it basically over in the evening on Sunday. It would take care of the week, and then I would basically I'd spend maybe an hour, 2 hours doing the service and effectively making the changes in order to move things. And all in all, they saw value in it, which was great. So this then opened up a new client pool. But obviously, my main focus was on this particular client because it's like I had been following his stuff for 2 or 3 years and knew that he could open a lot of doors for me. So if I could add value and get results for him, it would be great. So over the course of another month or so, I ended up stumbling upon this particular person was participating in a live stream for a launch that was being done. Now, there was a lot of advertising behind this launch, and as a function of that, there was like an opening live stream where this particular author and another gentleman would get on and they would basically just talk for about an hour and a half. And as a follower of this person, it's like I'm paying attention and I notice this live stream is going on and I jump on and I notice that there are 1,400 people sitting in this live stream. So I'm sitting here scratching my head like, these are all people who love what this person is doing, and like they're leaving it in the comments like, how do we take advantage of this opportunity where you've got 1,400 people who are like dedicated watching this event and get them to notice this person's YouTube channel? So I casually put in the comment section just like, hey, found this person's YouTube channel. Here's the link. Looks like he's only got a couple hundred subscribers. I'm sure he would love if you joined. So now, mind you, at the time on my second monitor, I had the analytics up and I was like refreshing the page to see like what impact that had. And he was at the beginning of the event, he was at 350 subscribers. By the end of the event, we had doubled him to 700. And then over the course of the next week, we actually had grown him to over 1,000, just as a function of this event. Now, this is a little bit of what I would call like more of a guerrilla tactic, and typically speaking, you don't get these type of opportunities all the time. But as a function of paying attention, adding value, and kind of showing like, hey, I care about this thing. Like, you're not just a client to me. You're somebody that I pay attention to, that I really want to see win. And by having that mentality, it put me in the right position at the right time to ultimately create a bunch of value for this person. Now, at the time, this author was only getting between 10 and 15 views on a video. After this event, he was now starting to see 100 to 200 views on his videos. So we're now starting to get a lot of traction. YouTube is starting to send more people his way, and the algorithm is now starting to take over as far as new people coming in the door and his channel growing. So he got to 1,000. I think it only took us 2 or 3 months to get from 1,000 to 7,000, and then another 6 months to get to over 10,000. So you can see how things can spiral, and one of the beauties of YouTube is when you have those type of events, it could really change the game as far as like how YouTube is promoting your content. So as a function of this, I had after the week had gone, he had passed the 1,000 mark. I sent a message to him like saying I'm super excited about all the results that we've gotten, and to his video team, and they were like, "Oh, that was you. I didn't realize that you had influence on this." So I had just gotten home from work one day, just after the about a week after the event, and I get a random text message saying, "Hey, how much do you charge to help with this? Would love to bring you on the team." And oh, by the way, and then the author put his name, and it just goes to show that when you care about something and you put in the time and effort, ultimately the result that you're looking for. Like, I didn't know it was going to turn into a business, and this person ended up being a client and is still a client to this day. This person, while things have not necessarily like super blown up, he's just under 100,000 subscribers, but he's making a lot of progress, and a lot of things have moved for his business, and I'm excited to see where things are going. But at the end of the day, if you don't care about not only the result but the people that you're helping, a lot of times you'll find that it's hard to keep going. And the message that I really want to drive home is at the end of the day, the people that you interact with, whether that be on social media or the people that you follow or the authors that you're listening to, while yes, they may have teams, you might have skills that apply to them that could add value to their world, that could then become a relationship that you ultimately have with them. But if you don't take the time to actually get into their world and understand the needs and desires that they have or what they're trying to build, and you'll never have that opportunity. So if you do have the opportunity to really have an understanding or have the ability to get into their world and communicate with them directly, it is a very worthwhile opportunity. And honestly, you can build a pretty amazing business on the back of it if you play your cards right. So I wanted this story to be an inspiration to you to kind of go out there, and if you do have a skill that could be valuable to somebody that you follow, that you actually pursue them as a client. Because I think if you truly can add the value, then at the end of the day, you just have to demonstrate that you can add that value. And that process can be extremely rewarding and ultimately get you where you want to go in life. And honestly is one of the best ways to actually start a service-based business that is primarily online. And like I said, that was the biggest driver for me, getting to the point where I could even get laid off from my day job and still know that things are okay because I have this skill that I can monetize outside of work and add value to other people. So if you want to check out other different business models, you can check out this video right here where I talk about the 3 different types of business models that you can do online and kind of the pros and cons of each. So click on this video right here and I will see you over there.